Imagine a place where people first abandoned nomadic lifestyles for settled existence. A place where walls rose not for defense against empires, but potentially as the first organized community project. This is Jericho, a site that rewrites our understanding of human ingenuity and early societal organization. For millennia, the ruins known as Tel es Sultan have concealed secrets that reveal the genesis of urban life. Our understanding of this site comes from meticulous work done by individuals around 9000 BCE in the pre-pottery Neolithic A (PPNA) period. Jericho began as a small settlement near a perennial spring. The availability of fresh water in an otherwise arid region made it a magnet for early settlers. These were not simply wandering bands. They were people actively transitioning from a life of hunting and gathering to one of agriculture. Analysis of plant remains reveals the cultivation of barley, emmer wheat, and lentils. Evidence of domesticated animals demonstrates a shift in how humans interacted with their environment. The first structures were simple, round houses made of mud bricks, suggesting a communal effort in their construction. Population estimates at this time are between 200 and 300 individuals, a substantial number for the period, showing a density of population rarely found elsewhere. A notable find from this era is the Tower of Jericho, the first evidence of social organization and community planning. The most significant feature of PPNA Jericho is the massive stone wall and the imposing tower. The wall, over 3.6 meters thick and several meters high, is an astonishing feat of engineering for its time. Adjacent to the wall stood a tower reaching approximately 8.5 meters in height. The construction of these structures involved moving an immense amount of stone and mortar, requiring significant manpower and organizational ability. The purpose of the wall and tower remains a matter of debate. While some believe it was defensive, protecting against floods or rival groups, others suggest it was for social or ritual purposes, perhaps as a statement of communal identity and power. Whatever its intended function, the wall and tower demonstrate a capacity for coordinated effort and resource management that was exceptional for the Neolithic period. Around 7000 BCE, the culture of Jericho underwent a transformation, marking the beginning of the pre-pottery Neolithic B (PPNB) period. Roundhouses were replaced by rectangular structures, reflecting a change in architectural styles and potentially in social organization. New burial practices emerged, including the removal of skulls and the application of plaster to create lifelike faces. These plastered skulls possibly represent a form of ancestor veneration. Despite these advances, Jericho experienced a decline around 6000 BCE. The reasons for this are not entirely clear, but theories include environmental degradation, such as soil exhaustion and a decrease in water supply, as well as social and economic factors. The abandonment of Jericho marks a pause in its continuous occupation, highlighting the vulnerability of early settled communities to environmental and societal changes. Jericho was reoccupied in later periods, including the Pottery Neolithic and the Early Bronze Age. These later settlements built upon the ruins of the earlier city, creating the Tell mound that is visible today. The Bronze Age Jericho saw the development of new technologies and forms of social organization. Pottery became widespread, allowing for the storage and transport of goods. Evidence of trade with other regions suggests Jericho was part of a wider network of exchange. During the Middle Bronze Age, Jericho was a fortified city. Destruction layers revealed by archaeology suggest a period of conflict and instability. The nature and extent of these conflicts remain debated. The destruction of the city during the Late Bronze Age is of particular interest to archaeologists and historians. It's important to note that our current level of understanding of Bronze Age Jericho is not complete. Further studies continue to reveal the layers of history that are buried in the region. Jericho is perhaps best known for its appearance in the Hebrew Bible, particularly the story of its conquest by Joshua. According to the biblical account, the Israelite army marched around the city for 7 days, after which the walls miraculously collapsed. Archaeological evidence, however, presents a complex picture. The destruction layers discovered at Jericho date to different periods, making it difficult to correlate them directly with the biblical narrative. Some scholars suggest the story of Jericho is symbolic, representing the Israelite conquest of Canaan. Others look for alternative explanations, such as an earthquake or a siege that left little archaeological trace. It is important to approach the biblical account with critical awareness, recognizing that it reflects a particular religious and cultural perspective. The role of archaeological discovery helps to give factual information on the existence of ancient cities in the region. It does not necessarily give historical evidence that confirms biblical stories. Modern archaeological understanding of Jericho owes much to the work of Kathleen Kenyon, who conducted extensive excavations at the site in the 1950s. Kenyon's meticulous approach to stratigraphy, the study of layered deposits, allowed her to reconstruct Jericho's history with unprecedented detail. Her findings revolutionized our understanding of Neolithic Jericho, revealing the existence of the pre-pottery Neolithic periods. Kenyon's work also challenged previous interpretations of the biblical narrative, prompting a re-evaluation of the relationship between archaeology and religious texts. Her scientific process continues to be a template for many archaeological digs around the world. Today, Jericho is a Palestinian city located in the West Bank. The ancient tell of Jericho continues to attract archaeologists and tourists alike. The site serves as a tangible of the deep roots of human civilization in the region. Ongoing excavations and research promise to reveal even more about Jericho's past, continuing to give new details about this ancient location. As we look back on the history of Jericho, we are struck by the ingenuity and resilience of its inhabitants. From its humble beginnings as a small settlement to its role as a fortified city, Jericho stands as a powerful statement about humanity's desire to create a better future. The story of Jericho teaches us that the development of settled life was neither simple nor linear. It involved experimentation, adaptation, and sometimes setbacks. By studying places like Jericho, we gain a deeper appreciation for the long and complex process of human development. Jericho's location in a region of ongoing political and social problems also acts as a constant spur to the people of that area. This city and its people display a continuing sense of ambition and strength even today. As we reflect on the first city, it becomes clear that although Jericho is ancient, its story continues to have new chapters that contribute to our understanding of human existence.